Everybody, we are back. It is Safe to Last Favorites Podcast, Favorites, Channel Favorites, everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Oh, let me get that button up there. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasups.com. Discount code TDL. For all your good protein products that you got to get ready for your New Year's resolution. This is a New Year resolution, guys. Let's go ahead and hit a Panda Subs and get that going. A awful game to watch. That game was terrible to watch.
The ending kind of salvaged it a little bit, but I was sitting there thinking, like, this is worse than the 3-0 game last year, because at least like that game had a little drama at the end where it's like, oh, maybe they'll be able to win it at the end. But like, yeah, this was painful. Like, the big loser tonight is ESPN. Like, they put two games on Monday Night Football, and both were just stinkers, man. Oh my god!
Like, I mean, they picked these games though, for the season, But I guess you were thinking the Raiders and Falcons would be this bad, but. Man,
you were thinking the Raiders might be like that competitive middle, like 7-win team, like a lot of people thought they'd be in the beginning of the year, and the Falcons would be like competing for the AFC or the NFC South, which, I mean, I guess they still are. But I'll tell you what, if I'm a Falcons fan, I am very worried about the end of the season, the way they play today and the way they've been playing the last month. And then on top of it, you'd think the Bears would be a lot better than they would have been. And I saw the score; it was like a 3-possession loss for them. So. Yeah, rough one for ESPN to have two games going, and I'll be honest, if I didn't have to watch that game, I would have turned it off a while ago. Like, I would have rather have been on Sunday so I could have flipped on Red Zone.
Seriously, like, me too, man. Like, I just feel like that game was just so bad to watch. That was my thing, just watching this game. Like, I was thinking, like, what film? I had to text you, man. I was like, what film am I going to do this week? I don't know who I'm going to do. I don't know who played well on offense, to be honest, until the Falcons were playing this super off coverage and they're just giving up little short passes.
Yeah,
nobody played well since McCormick got hurt early. Like, Dylan Parham was getting his
first half.
DJ Glaze gave up on that one play. We got the hold in that drive on a 3-man rush. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, here, I'm going to do some quick mental math here. Raiders running backs were 17 for 16, 21, 37, 17 for 37, 17 carries for 37 yards today. That shows you how well the offensive line played. What is that, like 2 yards a carry? Maybe?
If that.
Yeah. When I say 17 for 37, yeah, so a little bit more than 2.
Yeah, that, man.
And one safety.
Yeah, and then they had the block punts. Like, what would this game be without the block punts? You know what I mean? Like, the block punts had a big part of this game.
It felt like watching it legitimately felt like watching like a JV high school football game. Like, there was terrible special teams play. It was a weird score in 15-9. We had a safety. We had a block PAT, and like just awful football on both sides of the ball from both teams. Like, it was, and one running back pretty much dominating on one side of the ball. Like, you don't see that often in the NFL. That legitimately felt like a JV football game. That was good. And that might be disrespectful to some JV teams.
My God. For the Raiders to even be in that game, for the game to even be that close, the Falcons should be worried. I mean, because the Raiders. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, finish your thought.
I said for the Raiders' offense to just be that bad, because they were just so bad the whole game. Like, they were just awful. Desmond Ridder, like, running into sacks, checking the ball down super early. He got away with one on that, like the fourth down, and it's 8. Why are you checking it down?
Amir Abdullah saved his ass.
Like, what are you doing?
That was the last drive, right? That was the 2-minute drive. Yeah, he checked it down on 4th and 8 and on 2-minute drive. Yeah, that was awesome. If we're looking at this game from like an objective perspective and not through the lens of like the Raiders, like this game, the story of this game is the Falcons are awful, and the Falcons, they should have put their foot on the Raiders' throat and put this game away several times throughout the game, and they just are a very incompetent team. And I feel like that 3rd down call that they had outside of the 2-minute warning, like, proved it. Like, not only did they run, not only did they call a pass when like the Raiders, they could have taken a knee, given the Raiders like 110 to score, whatever. They tried to throw over the middle. I'm like, all right, they're showing a cover 0 look the one spot where you can't throw, or the one spot where you can get like screwed on that is if they have droppers, if they have a simulated pressure and droppers, and that's exactly what they threw it into instead of trying to throw the flat. I was beyond like flabbergasted by that play call. Like literally taking a knee would have been a better call. And I mean, Kirk Cousins is. I know he had his touchdown today, which we can get to Jack Jones in a minute, but that was a layup, and still ended up throwing a pick to a team that cannot turn the ball over or cannot get turnovers on defensively. So that you're very worried, especially with how good the Bucs looked on Sunday. If you're a Falcons fan, you have to be very worried, and even after a win, thinking like your season's over after tonight.
Yeah. It was ugly all around. I think the Falcons played just as ugly. I mean, they had the ball to 50 the whole game. That game should have been like 34-3. You know what I mean? How the field position they had and the field position the Raiders had. Disgusting.
One touchdown. Yeah, one touchdown. Right, just the Drake London.
Oh yeah. And of course, a Abdullah touchdown. But yeah,
no. For the Falcons, I was saying, like, they only scored one touchdown. Yeah. So 2 touchdowns the whole game. Yeah,
had the ball at the 50 the whole game.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, brutal. And you got to give props to the Raiders defense a little bit, because they play really hard and they got some plays. But I thought, some of it was just Cousins. Cousins missed.
Yeah,
he had 34 Ray McLeod, underneath, and he like threw it behind him. He missed like a wide open Drake London on a pass earlier in the game. Yeah, he was just god awful. I mean, that's what the Raiders
back 3 times. A lot of them like kind of running into him a little bit, like showing his lack of mobility. Yeah, Kirk Cousins was 11 of 17.
Yeah. It's just disgusting. It was disgusting. It was watch. I was like, what am I watching right now? This is just awful. Like, this is awful football. You know what I'm saying? PJ's romper room says teams are tired and nicked up, even though the Lions and Bills score what 90 points.
They won. You want to talk about nicked up?
I mean, they still put up 90 points. You know what I mean? Like it was still watchable football. I don't know what his point is.
But I watched Kirk Cousins over the last 4 weeks. Trust me, it's not just this time of year. It's been the whole second half of the season.
Yeah, it was, because. I know that the Dan Orlovsky was like, if you're Mark Davis, you got to see how hard this team is playing. But I don't know, man. Even like
for 3 quarters, they looked lifeless. Like the defense, I will give them. They had a few guys play hard. I think Jonah Lalu or whatever, or I don't know how Fowler was saying it today. I forgot already, but I guess we've been saying it wrong. Like I thought he'd had a good game, and like Chason had a good game. Merrick was flying around a little bit, and Spillane made a couple nice plays too. But like for the most part, like other than those 4 guys, like they were pretty lifeless throughout the game. Like it looked like it was the first game where I'm like, they look like they've quit. Like they're packing it in, and like they legitimately might be taking it this time. Like the last few games, I could say, yeah, they fought hard. Like last week against the Bucs, where they came back from down 14 and made it competitive. But tonight, like they looked lifeless, and it just looked like they played another incompetent team. And
I mean, that's why it was so boring about the game. It was just like they had no energy, right? It was like they, on defense they had some energy from the defensive line. I'll give them that. The defensive line had a lot of energy, but the Falcons were running all over them. I mean, that's why the Falcons were able to move the ball at all. It was the running game. And I think Spillane had that one great interception, but the offense didn't do jack shit with it. You know what I mean? Like it was to me. It was just the offense was lifeless. They were in shotgun all game. I don't know what that was about. I mean, somebody asked that question, but I guess it was like a different Ritter thing. But they didn't run any zone read.
They ran it like once or twice in the beginning of the game. But yeah, I think it might have been maybe because Ritter and JPJ, I can't imagine, have had many snaps together. And JPJ was a shotgun center in college, and Ritter played in the shotgun in college too. Probably did a lot too at Arizona. I don't know, and with the Cardinals. Yeah, but
it was just the offense was just so bad today, to be honest. Like that's really what it was. I mean, defensively too bad, to be honest. I mean, even they got some pressure. There's some sacks. I thought they had some pretty good play calls. I thought the play call on that 4th down where they're able to drop those guys back and make that play on that slant. because I thought that was going to be wide open, and they made a good play on that. But
I mean,
so bad. It was just so bad on offense. I just can't believe it.
they did get like decent pressure, and like I do think they made a few plays down the stretch, like in that fourth quarter, like you talked about. But like for the most part, I didn't really feel that great about the defense overall. Like we talked about Jack Jones, like getting like biting on doing what he's done pretty much all year. Where he bites on the double move and gets beat for a touchdown. And I mean, the running game, like Bijan Robinson averaged 5.7 a carry. Like I don't know why they stopped giving him the ball. And I mean, Algier, like I was kind of surprised by his numbers. He only averaged 4.6, but he had that one run where I don't know why they blew it dead, but it looked like he might have scored in that first half, and then broke one off for 19 too. Like their run defense was awful tonight, and I felt like they got a little bit of the benefit of Kirk Cousins being bad Kirk Cousins, and even like a drop or two in there too, where I'm like, I have a hard time like being like, yeah, the defense played great. Or played a good game outside of a good pass rush and a couple of guys that have played well. I don't know. That was just my read on it.
Yeah. You got a point there. I mean, yeah, Cousins did play pretty bad, right? And they weren't able to stop the run at all. I mean, I think Bijan Robinson had 121 yards. It looks like 125 on the ground. I mean, it felt like every single time he made a jump cut, there was a big hole. So I don't, what I'm saying, like it was pretty ugly on that side of the ball. I mean, at times, but I think the thing is, like, they made enough stops for if this offense just did anything, anything. The offense didn't do anything, and then they would have a penalty, and then when they got 3rd and long, they're, Desmond Ridder is just, I don't know, he was just trying to play Mr. Safe football. Like, bro, like, you're not gonna get another shot at this. I feel like that he should have threw it more downfield, but then you're like, but can he see downfield? Because I mean, there's some of the throws he was making.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he did throw it downfield, he was throwing it in double coverage. Or when he throws downfield, he overthrew Jacoby Myers by like, I don't know, 10 yards. For Justin Simmons to get a pick.
And I feel like I'm gonna watch on film that just Trey. I saw it, and I don't know, Justin Simmons maybe broke on the ball, but I just saw Trey Tucker just running by himself, like just running. Yeah, he threw that ball to Jacoby Myers. So you know what I'm saying? Ian O'Connell's probably gonna play next week, obviously, because he actually suited up this week, so he's not out. But man, that was some terror. It was an awful quarterback play until like late in the game, and even then, I mean, the 4th and 8 check down. Imagine the game ended that way. Amir Abdullah just saved the Raiders from he saved Desmond Ridder from so much embarrassment on that play. He has no idea how much Amir Abdullah just saved him from the biggest embarrassment that he could have, checking down on 4th and 8 behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, maybe he was inspired by Kirk Cousins. Remember Kirk Cousins' last playoff throw was that check down to TJ Hawkinson on 4th down against the Giants. Yeah.
I mean, at least he had Dexter Lawrence coming in his face. At least, Matt, he had Dexter Lawrence. Pause. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. Pause for sure. But yeah, if he definitely, I mean, to make that, sure. He had a, it was a bull rush. It was right in his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't see this. I think they were rushing 3, like they did the whole drive, and he just checked it down on 4th and 8. I'm like, when I saw him like take the check down, I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, no way he's doing this. There's no way.
He knew Amir. He knew he could make like 2 guys miss and be able to pick it up. That's what he was going for. He knew it.
I just couldn't believe it. As soon as the pass was like in the air, I was like, no way. There's no way he checked this down on 4th and 8. Just no way.
Yeah. That was a great throw. Just beautiful.
Amazing. Great decision. But yeah, I mean, it was just so bad to watch. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do this week. That's what was, the whole game I'm watching. What am I gonna do this week? Like, who am I covering? Who am I gonna look at? You know what I mean? Somebody said,
yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Maybe we might have to. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Drew Allers off the board. So
that was not ideal. Yeah. I was gonna say not ideal because like that's your emergency plan, or you're like maybe your sneaky plan was to like maybe get cute with it and try and trade back and get Drew Aller, get some more assets if you don't like either of the top 2. But now that's off the table. not what the Raiders needed for this year's quarterback class.
Yeah, it's literally at this point, it's Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking at. We're looking at two options right now. I mean,
the playoff, the Big Ten championship brought you a little bit of hope that there might be a third guy that comes into the mix, and now it's off the table. Brutal.
It's just brutal. And this year just has so many holes. You know what I mean? Like watching Jack Jones get burned in that play, literally embarrassed. To be honest, I've never seen he just bit so hard on that double move.
I mean, and they talked about it on the broadcast. That's Jack Jones. Like I broke that down before. Like he's gonna make great plays with his eyes in the backfield and where he just reads a play and reads a screen usually and jumps it.
Yeah,
it's also gonna get burned. That's why, and teams have figured that out, and that's why he's given up. I think is it 7 touchdowns now, maybe 8, and has 1 pick this year, 2 picks this year. Excuse me. So that's the problem with being the aggressive corner. You look at a guy like this is the tier 1 of that type of style is Trevon Diggs, who kind of has the same thing where he's aggressive and he goes for those picks. And I mean, look what's happened to Diggs this past year. I know he got hurt and he's done for the year, but he wasn't having a good year before that too, where they were starting to pick on him and figure him out.
Yeah, man. It's just. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do on offense. I mean, at this point, I mean, really, their best option is Aiden O'Connell. I mean, you could put Carter Bradley out there and see what he does, but who knows what kind of offense they run if they put Carter Bradley out there. I know Carter Bradley would at least take a chance. Carter Bradley's going to throw 4 picks, or he's going to throw 4 touchdowns. I like that. Let's go with some craziness. Let's get psycho. You know what I mean? Like that's what I know Carter Bradley's going to do. He's going to throw 4 interceptions. And in the game, or he's gonna throw 4 touchdowns because he's just chucking the ball.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Yeah, we're so desperate. I'm getting Kyle McCord questions. Have you watched any tip on it? I have not watched a tip on Kyle McCord. I really haven't. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Kyle McCord season. Yeah. Y'all not messing with Dylan Gabriel.
I mean,
we'll watch him at the Senior Bowl, I guess. We'll see what Dylan does.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels kind of shut me up on this theory. I'm not a huge fan on quarterbacks who and I know Dylan Gabriel's had good years in the past, and when they're 6 years older than the guys that they're playing against, and all of a sudden they look like first round picks and legit NFL talents, that usually is not a great formula. Again, Daniels and Nix kind of shut me up, but Nix and Daniels also. They started building this team the year before, I think. Whereas Gabriel was kind of just kind of mediocre before. Maybe better than mediocre, but more of a college quarterback than you would even think of as an NFL guy before the season.
You know, I still question Bo Nix. He threw 3 picks yesterday, and then they won up a Nick Bonito, pick 6. Right.
They won by Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor too.
That's one momentum.
A damn Deshaun Jackson and shit, bro. He's fucking Deshaun Jackson is looking motherfucker. But I don't know. That was that game. So I'm still questioning him a little bit, but man, I don't know. What is Shadur Sanders' ceiling?
I mean, I said it before. I think it's a Kirk Cousins type quarterback. Good, not great. Situation's good around him. I think he'll play well. I don't think he's an elite guy. That's the issue with Shador. The biggest issue with Shador is what is the ceiling? Is it how low is it? Which I kind of feel like with him and his traits isn't quite as high.
Yeah. With Shadur Sanders, that's my question is what his ceiling is. Because I think he has a high floor. It's just what is the ceiling? You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have the biggest arm, and in the last game I watched was the Cincinnati game, which I keep talking about this game, but it kind of traumatized me. It's like when he drops back, he has that weird drop back that he has. Or he's I don't know. He's just it looks like he's just having fun back there. I don't know what he's doing, and he can't get any velocity on the ball when he does that. But when he has his feet set, it's not that bad. Right. So if a coach can get him where he's just where his feet are in the ground and he can, move around, and maybe a coach can do that. That's the thing. Like, that's my issue, is like, is his drop back and his lackadaisicalness kind of back there, and, taking 4 seconds to throw the football, and, seeing things open. Is that just like the offense that he's in and he's just doing whatever the hell he wants? Or is it something that he can coach in him, that we can get him where he can get his feet right? Because when he has his feet right and he can throw the ball, he has good mechanics. That's really what it is, man. It's about, it's more about that. It's more about, can he get enough velocity on those passes? Does he have a big enough arm for the NFL? I know a lot of people are going to be like, you're going to show me like one deep pass. He had the least amount of deep passes out of the class, that I showed last week. Aller's gone. So who's in this class. So that's the thing with Shedeur Sanders is can he really push the ball down the field? Because the people who would get mad at me for saying that are going to be the first ones to complain if he can't. I know that. Yeah, man. I don't know. So is he worth the top 5 pick? I mean, this year, I guess. I mean,
it's the quarterback debate. Like, how much do you how much does positional value boost him up? Like, I'm always like a BPA guy, and especially in the first round, except when it comes to quarterback, because that position is so important. And right now, the Raiders very clearly don't have an answer there. They don't have anything close to an answer right now, and that's where it kind of becomes like, well, you almost have to, because they roll out with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew again. Like, we've seen this movie before.
Yeah,
they were
up. Yeah, and if they're picking 1 and 2, they drafted a quarterback. We can talk about, Travis Hunter, whatever. If they're drafting 1 or 2, Mark Davis is taking a quarterback. Let's start there. Like, it's not going to get any crazier than that. Mark Davis is taking a quarterback. So we're going to get Shedeur Sanders, and you just got to build the right offense around Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion. I think you can find ways to be successful with him. It's just, if you guys are expecting him to come out here and just wow you, no, he's gonna play boring Brock Purdy type of quarterback. That's what you're getting. You're getting that type of thing with a little bit of flash in his like swagger, but the way he plays quarterback is gonna be. It's not gonna be like this, super riveting type of thing. You're gonna have to build a offense around him where he can get the ball out of his hands quick and he be accurate in his little short passes and do those things. You got to work it around him, and make it work. But yeah, if I think some fans are expecting like fireworks if you get Shedeur Sanders. I'm expecting a meticulous good offense.
And I know I said this before. When you boil down this quarterback class and the top 2, Ward and Sanders, it's like what you said. Do you want the guy that's quote unquote pro ready, has the high or the low floor, the high floor and the low ceiling?
Yeah,
that can like do what you ask him to do, or do you want the guy that's the wild card, that's the gambler, that can make the Josh Allen, the Patrick Mahomes like off script plays? Like I think I said before, like, you look at Cam Ward. The way I look at Cam Ward is he has the potential to be Matt Stafford. He also has the potential to be Carson Wentz. So there's a gamble. Whereas Shedeur is a more sure thing. Like, if you want to win right now, Shedeur is going to give you a better chance of doing that. If you got Cam Ward, I'd almost like to see them get like someone, I don't know, Cooper Rush at this point, and like start Cooper Rush for half the season or whatever, and let Ward sit for a little bit.
Why you want to do that to me, man? Cooper Rush, Matt?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out a name there. I mean, do you want me to say Sam Darnold? Because I don't think Sam Darnold's taking any deal where he's going to be like where he's. I don't think Sam Darnold's leaving Minnesota to go be a stopgap for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just throwing out a name out there. Like, I'm basically saying, like, you got to get a veteran that's going to protect Cam Ward a little bit, so you don't have to throw him out into the fire right away. Like, that's the situation I would want Cam to go into. Whereas Shedeur, like, I think Shedeur, you could probably get away with starting right away.
Yeah. Mixing with Cam Ward wouldn't be too bad, but I don't know. With Cam Ward, I think he showed some growth on getting rid of the ball, and he does some anticipation of things. I think there would be there'd be more wowness. So if they are like 5 and 12, I'm not, what I'm saying, like, we might not have to change coordinators or something. Like, I don't know. With Shedeur Sanders, you really have to get the right coordinator for him, in my opinion. I think you got to get the right coordinator and the right coaches to speed his process up. Because, I just think that it looks like he's just chilling back there, the last couple of games I've watched. I feel like, Kansas State is what you want him to look like. And then, like, Cincinnati game is what you don't want him to look like. So there's just two dynamics there. And, I think Cam Ward is more consistent as a quarterback this year, but I still think they might go Shedeur, though, if they had a choice, in my opinion. I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to see what are the questions. Seems like whatever coach they pick will be important for the kick and QB. I don't know, man. I think. What do you think?
I didn't get to read the full question. I'm a slow reader. Sorry.
You
read faster than I
did. Basically, who will Tom Brady hire as a coach? Basically.
I mean, I've said it before. Maybe his boy, Vrabes. I don't know. Do they go offensive mind? The guy that seems to be pulling up some, to be gaining some steam is Liam Cohen out in Tampa Bay. And like I said, when I broke down the Bucks, I liked what he did in a running game. He's a creative dude. Offensive mind, comes from the Shanahan McVay tree. And I mean, I feel like I was thinking about it. Like, I know he had a bad. I forget where was he in? Where was he in the NFL before he went to Kentucky? Liam Cohen, was he with the Jets?
I don't know. I thought he.
Or was he with the Rams and then he took the OC job in Kentucky?
Yeah,
he was like a quarterback coach with the Rams and then he went to the. So that's the thing that I think you might be a little bit encouraging about Liam Combs. I feel like what killed Liam Combs like stock, because he was like that next guy that's on the rise that might be one of these like young offensive gurus, was Will Levis regressed under him. But now that we've seen how Will Levis has played in the pros, where he's gotten benched for Mason Rudolph twice this season, and we've seen how the Bucs have played and how Baker Mayfield has honestly like gotten maybe even a little bit better than he was last year under Liam Cohen, like. Maybe he is someone where it's like, man, it was actually just Will Levis that was at the problem at Kentucky and not the coach. So I feel like that's almost like bought him a little bit more credibility, at least with me, where I'm like, you know what, maybe you give this guy a shot, maybe you take a risk and go with him. But to the question's point, would Tom sign off on that? Because that that's going to be the loudest voice in Mark Davis's ear.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see a couple more questions we got here. So. Could Shedeur Sanders win a Super Bowl? I mean, we don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. It's just with Shedeur. It's more to me is he worth taking at top 2? It's not whether he could be a good NFL quarterback. It's more to me like, would you take that at 2 if DJ Lagway was in the draft? No, that's my whole thing. You're taking DJ Lagway.
We got to wait a couple of years for Lagway.
You know what I mean?
He's a true freshman, right?
Or let me ask you this, Matt.
Yeah.
Malik Murphy or Shedeur Sanders coming out?
I mean, probably right now, I'd still take Shedeur.
I mean, Malik went 93 with Duke. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard did well at Duke too.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I'm just saying. I don't know, man. It's just that's what it is about Shedeur. It's like, is he a top 5 pick? I mean, as I said, is he better than AOC? Probably.
I think he's better than AOC. I think he's better than AOC.
Probably. Yeah. We picked a bad year to be bad. Yes, we are. Yes.
Hey, blame AP and Aiden O'Connell in the second half of last year. They would have just if they would have just wrote it out with Josh McDaniels, pissed the whole locker room off.
Just let it all die, man. Pick it at 2.
Could be having Drake May right
Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May. Yeah, I don't know.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May. I would take both right now, to be honest. I would, I would take Drake May right now. You know what I'm saying? Or any of those. I mean, this was saying any of them. I mean, I could deal with Caleb. Like, what is it? Caleb like fell. I don't know what happened to him in the Bears game.
I would take. Yeah. I would I know we haven't seen him. I would take Michael Penix right now, just because it's been that frustrating this year. I know I wasn't that high on Penix. I would take any of the top 6. Damn Christmas Day win against the Chiefs.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It is true. The Christmas Day win against the Chiefs. I mean, shit. I mean, beating the Jets or or any of those games, beating the
Even the
Chargers.
Packers. They beat the Packers last year. Remember that?
Who did? The Raiders?
The Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
they did
that?
beat
The
the
first half
Packers.
of the season with Josh McDaniels. That was before Toyotathon when Jordan Love turned it on. Have you seen those numbers?
Uh, yeah. I've seen
The
those.
Toyotathon, yeah, with Jordan Love. He's like just extremely good in November for
He
whatever
must
reason.
he must drive a Corolla or something.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. But
Yeah.
they beat the Packers last year. That is one of those. I mean, we'll go back and look at this season and be like, wow, how the Raiders beat the Ravens. But like, yeah, looking back at it last year, it's like, wow, how the Raiders beat the Packers. It's one of those games, at least one of those games a year. And yeah,
All right, guys. We're out of here at 30 minutes. Somebody said y'all can't dip out too late. We need a little therapy right now. I get it, man. But man, that was bad. That was hard to watch. But really appreciate you guys joining us here for this. Of course, we'll be back with the film review. I don't know what we're gonna do. Me and Matt have to talk because I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do this week. I mean, I don't know.
maybe we'll just do special teams. That'll be at least eventful and informative. Because I think they blocked a punt. I think both blocked punts were the same dude. So I'm pretty sure it was the same way they screwed up.
Yeah, Chris Smith, you can pull up the special teams tape, bro. Pull up the special teams tape, Doc. You might have to, man. What happened with the punt game?
Yeah.
He said, film it through the pathetic. I mean, maybe I'll figure out something. I don't know. Well, me and Matt will figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Like I said, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Thank you for joining us today. We're out of here. Peace.